Eric Horn here with Maddie Lee after the Thunder's 122-113 win over the Utah Jazz. Maddie, last time Utah and the Thunder got together, it was the playoff first round in April. Thunder went out in 6 games, did not play their best ball. It was a different team then, different team now, and it looked like it tonight. The Thunder came out and really took it to the Jazz, aside from a fourth quarter where they gave some points back, not playing a majority of the starters. The Thunder played a pretty outstanding game.
They really did, and I think what sums it up really well was actually something Donovan Mitchell said after the game, which was that it felt like they were playing the Thunder from Game 5 when they had that run, but if that run was the entire game. And so that really speaks to how dominant the Thunder were, and you had an incredible performance from Paul George as well. Yeah,
Paul George continues his assault on the league. He came off of a road trip where he was just outstanding against the Brooklyn Nets. Efficient defensively and offensively against Detroit. And he carried over to tonight. He finishes with 31 points on 10 shots. That's ridiculous efficiency. That's some Steph Curry style stuff. That's the kind of stuff that gets you in the conversation for the MVP. Because the thing that Paul George was missing going into this week in terms of the MVP conversation that's starting to get built up around the league as we get past that quarter mark, he's been missing the efficiency. He hasn't been the guy who shot these high efficiency games. His shooting percentage is around 43%, shooting around maybe like 35% from three. Hadn't been getting to the line as much as some of these other guys. Tonight he gets to the line 12 times, makes 10 shots. He hits 5 of 6 threes, has 17 points in the third quarter. He's had some giant performances over the past week and a half. They're starting to make people take notice around the league. Adds to that 4 steals. He's leading the league in steals. This is a guy who's doing it on both ends right now, and he's leading the Thunder even when Russell Westbrook's not playing particularly well offensively.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook did not have a good shooting night, but he was able to impact the game in other ways. You saw him playing some defense, getting some assists, the works. But yeah, shooting was definitely an issue for Westbrook again. Paul George did talk him up post-game, as he does, said that he actually had a conversation with him where he was saying, like, I got your back, and he mentioned he's had some pretty great shooting years before. He'll get out of it. Yeah,
and Westbrook he'll get out of that, like Paul George said. But it's great to have other guys chip in and contribute when Westbrook's not on his game, particularly offensively. Like you said, he did a lot of other things. He rebounded, he assisted. But Westbrook shoots 4 of 18 from the field. But when you got guys like Steven Adams scoring 22 points against Rudy Gobert, by the way, good effort by Steven Adams. Jeremy Grant with 13. You get 40 points combined from Hamidou Diallo, Dennis Schroeder, and Nerlens Noel off the bench. Dennis Schroeder got any kind of shot he wanted on Raul Neto. That's the kind of stuff that allows you to have some leeway when it comes to Westbrook. He doesn't have to take 43 shots like he did in the closeout playoff game in Game 6. 43, 19 three-pointers. That's crazy. Just think about that for a second. He doesn't have to do that anymore. And just imagine when he does get it going and you add to that some of these other contributions, it really shows you how far and how much this Thunder team has changed in terms of its makeup and its style since that playoff exit to Utah. It's a really strong performance, particularly to start this week, considering how many tough games the Thunder has coming up this week.
Yeah, the balance is really what's key, because you saw the Thunder get into trouble when they were solely relying on Paul George and Russell Westbrook to provide offense for them.
Yeah, and look, you got to add the caveats that Utah was on the second night of a back-to-back. But other than that, look, this Thunder team did a great job. I wrote about it. They threw waves at Donovan Mitchell. They continue to get strong performances from Terrence Ferguson, a guy who played all of 6 minutes in the playoffs a few months ago. It was a complete effort from the Thunder tonight. One of those games that they needed coming off of that struggle against Chicago. And it's going to set them up well for the rest of the week as they go to New Orleans, they go to Denver, and then they come back on Saturday against the LA Clippers. Here's some post-game video from Maddie.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yes.
Paul George?
Paul George. Russell
Steven
Westbrook.
Adams?
Anybody else?
I don't think so.
All right, that works.